Men are going to be men whether they have money or whether they have $2 to their name. And I need y'all to stop acting like money is going to make someone more or less abusive. No, they're going to be abusive. Just how they manifest their abuse is going to be different. How they use their abuse is going to be different depending on the resources that they have. A nigga with money is just going to be more financially abusive. A man who has no money is probably going to lean with more of the physical and emotional abuse, but it's still going to be abuse. They're just going to express it differently. I need y'all to understand that the one thing that has been consistent are these niggas not being shit. And if you lack self-esteem and common sense, what these niggas do isn't going to matter if you're not on guard and using your brain. Every single time, one thing I notice about these story times about these horrible ass men that y'all are claiming tricked you is it took you way too many fucking instances to realize that that man wasn't shit. There were already signs before. I need y'all to stop acting like men who have no fucking education, like especially the demographic of men that y'all are dating. I need y'all to stop acting like the nigga with a high school education is so fucking like genius that he could trick someone with a fucking education. When it comes to the disconnect, it's because y'all refuse to see people for who they are. You romanticize people. Good morning, thanks. Y'all romanticize people who are not shit and show you that they're not shit. Believe people the first time. Y'all are just slow. And you need a therapist. And just from like a 304 perspective, when it comes to these conversations regarding men and money, you can tell who has never dated a man with money or been around men with money for real. And those conversations are going to be different because of race and because of class. And I'm noticing with my women, us as black women, a lot of us weren't raised around money. We didn't grow up in money. So when we get around men with money, a lot of y'all don't know how to act. And that's because of generational trauma. And I said this, how we date is going to be different how white women date when it comes to wanting to date outside of your class or to date up. Because we have not been given the tips and tricks that white women are literally groomed to. Because a white woman can be as poor as fuck and still marry into wealth. There's levels to this shit, and these are the conversations we need to be having at our kitchen tables. But we are constantly being shamed to want and have less. And this is why when you are seeing these with black women that are claiming that they're living the soft life, it's being exposed later that they weren't really living that life, because we don't have the playbook that they have gone by. Y'all are still being tricked into the illusion of men with money instead of actually knowing how to access it and knowing when it's real and when it's fake. And you're not going to know that if you haven't been around people with money or grown up in that. And being an SW allows me to learn because I'm being put into those spaces. And I'm seeing a pattern. Y'all have to educate yourself. You need to start going into these spaces. But the only way you're going to do that is getting your motherfucking money up, bitch. You got to start there. You got to change where you are, like, financially, so that you can start going into these spaces and learning. And right now, a lot of y'all are really going to need to start listening and learning from whitey women when it comes to dating men with wealth. That is the one thing I will tell y'all, if y'all listen to anything from whitey women, is how they date. Because even though certain things aren't going to apply to us, you can flip it and like tweak it so it works for you as a black woman in America. Because again, culturally, how we date is different. But when it comes to dating men with money, this is a completely different ball game. Because culturally, we are raised to date Pookies and Ray Rays. We are raised to be successful and then to date down, not to date in our class. And that's why y'all are mad at Clark, because she's one of the black women actually living that lifestyle and doing it. Y'all need to listen to women like her. This is the time to sit down and learn.